Hey, stop right here. Everybody, pay attention. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another BizBuzz Live. I'm Chris Muzan, your guy taking you through all things finance. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube right now. Lots of good things happening. It is Friday, July the 31st. It is the last day of July. We will never see another day of July 2026 ever again. We get another opportunity, though, to continue to learn and grow and get to the place where we understand what we need to do in order to fix our financial life. Most importantly, what we got to do to bring in some more money. Today, we're going to talk about, again, we're going back, but I can't stress this point enough, how much AI is going to change our world. And I just hope people are using it properly to set themselves up and put themselves in a position to go off and make some money. So stick around on today's show. Let's talk about it. All right, everybody, welcome back. We're back live right now on LinkedIn, live on YouTube for another episode of BizBuzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan, again, helping you through all things finance. Appreciate everyone that has continued to support BizBuzz Live, continue to leave me comments, continue to share their thoughts, DM me, shoot me a private message, whatever it is. Any conversations that have come out of this, I'm super grateful for. And I'm glad that they are helping. I'm glad that they are helping you really start to get some perspective around how we are making money. So again, remember, y'all, those of you that are just tuning in for the first time or just tapping in for the first time, the thesis of this, right? The thesis of this show, the reason why we started it, kind of the genesis of this, is I've been here in the financial space for quite some time, going on 13, 14 years now. And inevitably, when wherever people come to start their financial journey with me, whether it's on investments, whether it's around cash flow, whether it's around their savings, their debt, their insurance, it doesn't matter. Like, we always come back to the what comes in and what goes out conversation. It normally always starts there. And as a financial industry, I think we've done a great job of talking about where the money goes, budgeting, tracking tools, all of those types of things. I think we've done well at. Where I don't think we've done well as an industry, and what we need a little bit more of in our society, is teaching people how to earn money. The first step and the first stage in this money journey, I guess we could say, in this financial journey, is first learning how to earn it. Once you learn how to earn it, then you can learn how to save it. Once you learn how to save it, then you can learn how to invest it. But you got to build on those habits. And most of us don't know how to earn money. If I asked you that question, LinkedIn, how can you earn money? We're always going to have a similar thing, right? It's going to be the get a job, right? Trade time for money. Or it's going to be self-employed. Do something that revolves around your talent, your skills, your abilities, your degrees, your expertise, and be the center of that business. That's typically how people know how to earn money. I know how to work for it, trade my time for money, and I know how to give a service or be a small business owner where I can learn how to do that. That's most of what we know. And a lot of times, most of us just lean on the employee side. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, get some higher education, work at the job that has some benefits, and then move on. I heard something that said, a statistic that said something like 85% of people that have health insurance through their job say that the only reason they're staying at their job is because of the health insurance, right? Like, people literally got a job just for the benefits, for the health insurance, because they know their family needs health insurance. They don't want to stay at their job. They rather leave their job, but they have no idea how to earn money enough to pay for medical bills. By the way, this is probably a conversation we should have at some point. When you don't have insurance, sometimes like medical expenses are cheaper. Did you know that? Not telling you to cancel your health insurance. But I probably should do a BizBuzz, or we should probably talk about that a little bit more. How even doctors, surgeons, people that are in the healthcare space know that having health insurance is not affordable and it doesn't always make sense. So the same $1,500 a month that you're paying for health insurance, that's the same, uh, whatever it is, 10, 12, 12,000, $15,000 a year that's going into health insurance. You could just save 15 grand a year. And for the amount that your kid has to go to the doctor for a copay, or the random, I mean, if you're a healthy family, the random injury that you might have, that you might have to pay for somebody breaking their arm or breaking their leg or something like that. That's random. That's the emergency stuff. But the maintenance stuff, if you're a healthy family, you probably don't need a lot of maintenance. Go to the dentist 2-3 times a year. Go to the doctor twice, 3 times a year. Get the checkup. Need an antibiotic. You get like, it's really not as expensive as people think, but they're so scared and we're so conditioned to stay on this healthcare system. But anyway, I digress. That's not what today was talking about. But either way, right? Like, people are sticking around at a job typically because they want the benefits. So where have we kind of lost our idea, lost our road, really just need a little recalibration, is, again, I believe teaching people how to make money, teaching people how to earn money, how to take your values and give it to the world, your skill set, give it to the world, how to create systems around it, how to use technology. Specifically, what we're talking about today is AI. How do we use AI so our jobs don't get replaced? Again, we've been talking about this for probably 18 months now, maybe a little bit over a year. We've been having this conversation about AI replacing jobs, and all of these companies started laying off people, and they said it's because AI is going to come take your job and all this stuff. I don't necessarily know those things to be the case, but AI will absolutely take over industries. Let me just tell you. The reason why I wanted to have this conversation again is because I don't think that people understand how quickly this could happen for you, how quickly your job could be replaced. And what my encouragement is through this talk and through, right, us just having these conversations more and more, is that hopefully at some point you will just learn the skills and the skill sets needed to use AI to your advantage. Instead of playing defense and being like, man, I'm scared this is going to take my job, or being naive enough to be like, this will never take my job, right? Whichever side you fall on, where you're playing defense instead of playing offense. My encouragement to you after today is to start playing offense. Really start utilizing these platforms, these what we call large language models, Perplexity and Gemini and Chat GPT and Claude, right? All of these, let's start using them to our advantage, okay? Here's why you need to start using it to your advantage. I shared this with you a few weeks back, but I'm going to share it with you again so you have some context on all the stuff that we're talking about. So, Anthropic, that's the parent company of Chat GPT. Yeah, OpenAI. Yeah, Chat GPT. Or is Anthropic Claude? No, Anthropic might be Claude. Yeah. So they put this out a while ago, and they said these are all of the capability of what AI could replace. And so the red is what you see on this chart. The red is what you see that's already where AI has impacted, right? Where it's already impacted a bit of that industry. The blue is the theoretical, like actually what could happen, how much AI could take over these industries. So I'm just going to highlight the couple industries because I've heard this other places, but I feel like I just needed a place to talk about it as well, to be able to share some of this insight with you. what I've been hearing, word on the street, those of you that aren't super plugged into this stuff, because again, all of this comes down to how are you going to earn money in the future? Some of you are thinking about retirement. Some of you are in your early state, your, later millennials, right? So younger millennials or into the Gen Z side where you're like, yeah, I'm not going to work for 40 years of my life. Like I'm not going to work for another 30 plus years. Like how can I make this happen? And so you have to understand how people will even make money over the next 30 years, at least the next 10, right? To understand this side. And I've seen this being said a lot that we as America, right, as our society, we have gone into this knowledge based um, performance or productivity, right? So a lot of the things that we do are knowledge based, not necessarily, right? We outsourced all of our manufacturing. We don't really make a lot of things here. We don't do a lot with our hands. We really are like smart people, right? They sold us on this going to school and getting education. So all of us have like all these degrees and we're smart, educated people. But we don't have a ton of skills, So either way, right? The industries that this says it's going to take over: management, business and finance, computer and math, the architecture engineering side, really big. And then I'll just jump down to legal and I'll jump down to arts and media and then office and admin. Okay. So I'm just looking at the points that are the highest of how much of the industry could be taken over. So from a office and admin side, even some of the sales part, but office and admin, sales, working our way back around. We got healthcare practitioners, we got arts and media. I guess education is kind of up there, legal, life and social sciences, architecture, engineering, computer and math, business, finance, and management all are the biggest. So think about this. If you are in, let's just take those top three. Let's take the top four: management, business and finance, computer and math, and office and admin. All right. Let's just start there and say, okay, if I'm in these industries currently, you are currently in these industries, you currently got your degree in those industries, you're currently working in some type of office or admin role, you're in some type of higher level management, upper management, you strive to climb the ladder of corporate America so you can get to some higher levels of management. Maybe you're in the business and finance space. Right? Maybe you are, and I laugh because I'm talking to you from the finance space, right? Like I'm in the space. So Gary Vee used to always say, right, like try to put yourself out of a job before the industry where for someone comes and puts you out of a job, right? Try to put yourself out of one. So I'm trying to talk about this stuff also because I know there's changes that are going to be made. Business and finance. Think of the finance side. Like you're not going to need a financial advisor after a while. You're not going to need an accountant after a while. You know why? Because all those things are just manual calculations. They're just computer calculations. They're just looking at trends, looking at charts, looking at the history of things, and then putting those things in. The accounting side, let me factor in all these numbers. Let me make sure the numbers are right. Lots of human error on that side. If I can compute these numbers because they come from a computer, and then I can fill out the form according to these numbers, I'm going to get the accurate, correct information every single time. I'm gonna get the correct result and outcome every single time. I'm not even gonna need a human in there. That's why it's almost at the top. That's why they believe the whole business and finance industry can get taken over by AI. Like the entire management, the entire computer and math side of things, quantum reporting. If you do anything that has to do with reporting, like, sorry to say, but you're going to be out of a job. You're not going to have a job, right? You're not going to have over time, that skill set is going to die out. You got to know that. You got to not wish it away or want it away or say be naive. It's not going to happen to me. No, it probably will. It probably will. So how do we play offense? How do we play offense? Well, maybe you should learn some things that are inside of that industry. If you're in that industry, let's say you're in the business and finance side. I'll give you this example because this is what prompted me to even talk about it today. Let's say you're in the business and finance side and you think your industry is going to be taken over by AI. Cool. Well, what if you actually created a program that actually helped your job become obsolete? What if you sped up the process instead of just waiting for it to happen, right? Instead of waiting for the tidal wave to come hit you, why don't you start building the boat and be like, man, why is my industry so vulnerable? What processes do I do every day that could just be simple if I just made them repetitive? If I didn't have to think about them, they weren't cognitive, they were just repetitive tasks that I get paid for. What if I learned AI? What if I used some of these systems to now start to put something in place to even make my job more efficient or to put me out of a job? Like, that's playing offense. I know my role really well. I know what I do really well. What if I learned AI now? What if I learned Claude or Claude Cowork or Gemini or Chat or any of these things? What if I learned how to prompt it, how to get my answer so it can replace what I'm doing? And then I go give that to someone. I go sell that to someone. I go create the idea of how to replace me, and then I go replace me. I go sell that to a company. I go sell that to a corporation. I go sell it to my own boss, my own job. I go find a small business that could use it. Whatever it is. Why not play offense? My wife and I just put something together where we think we're going to take over the whole bookkeeping industry, especially for nonprofits, especially for not-for-profits. Take care of the whole, right? Like the whole grant writing, bookkeeping, that side. We created a couple things that we think is going to be really exciting, and we can go out and disrupt an entire industry. What if you're working in a restaurant right now? The restaurant industry needs to be disrupted. The healthcare industry needs to be disrupted. The education system needs to be disrupted. What if you started using the tools, playing offense? Don't just wait for AI to come replace the job, but actually look and see, like, how could I learn this and then use it? If I know, again, let me show this. This is where opportunity lies, ladies and gentlemen. This is where opportunity, the red part. Again, I just want to break this down for you. The red part that you see on the graph is where AI is currently implemented. Currently. The blue is where it could theoretically go, like where they see it going. So think of how much opportunity is there. It's barely in the management space. Barely. There's barely any red where you see that management space. So if it's barely there currently, but they believe that it could fully take it over, then everything in the middle between the red and the blue is opportunity. It's opportunity for you to come in and change it, for you to learn these models. Same thing for computer and math, for business and finance, for legal. The red is only, it's only a little bit. It's only being used at a small fraction of what it could be used at. But you see, the whole thing is going to get taken over. So if the whole thing gets taken over, why not you go get your piece of that? Why not you play offense? Okay, if Anthropic believes that management and business and finance and computer and math and architecture and engineering and life sciences and legal and office and admin, all of that stuff will be taken over, but it's not close to being taken over yet, then why don't I think about how to take it over, especially if I'm in those industries? Why don't I play offense? This is how we learn to earn money. This is how we learn to earn income. It's through the opportunity. If they only taught us to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work at that job, make sure it has benefits, and that'll pay you, you're missing out on the ways to observe how to earn money. Where there's a need, where there's opportunity, that is where money is. That's where, right, you're able to grow money, where there's an opportunity for something. If you're not looking for opportunity, you're only looking for who can pay me a paycheck, where can I get my foot in to work at this job? We're missing all of the context clues, all of the clues that are out there of how we're going to go earn more money. This chart, just when it talks about AI, is showing you how you can go earn more money if you play offense. That's all this is saying. Don't let the tech oligarchy of this country, right, see these things and then they go to where the opportunity is. They start putting in systems. They start learning AI for management, for business and finance, for right computer and math, from office and admin. They start doing it. So that puts you out of a job more. But there's so much opportunity. The question is, like, how are you looking at this? Are you learning these things? Are you spending an hour, 2 hours a day using AI? Are you getting your 20 hours? I heard that they said that it takes 20 hours to learn something, not to master it. It takes 10,000 hours to master it, but 20 hours to go from zero to competent. So like you saying, I don't know how to play the guitar right now. I don't know how to play the piano. If you did 20 hours of YouTube videos and actual playing and practicing on the piano, you could go from zero, not knowing anything, to relatively competent, knowing the notes, knowing how to play the notes, knowing your hand structure. Are you going to be good? Probably not, but you'll know it versus not knowing it. So same thing in AI. Use these tools. Use Claude. Use Chat. Use Google Gemini. Use Perplexity. Like, use these things. Ask. Learning how to prompt is going to be important. Learning how to prompt, learning how to ask it so you get the information you want is going to be important. Asking it a question that you might not even know the answer to, not looking at it like a Google search, but looking at it like, help me think, put these questions together, formulate this. How would I make this happen? And listen to it and then practice it. But ladies and gentlemen, you got to play offense. In 2026, as we head into August, September, October, November, December, 5 months left in the year. 5 months. If we start learning some of these things, we start getting good with some of these tasks, we start understanding how to operate using these large language models and going about it in ways that we're playing offense to learn to earn more money. This is not a social experiment where you're just playing around on it like it's a hobby, like it's fun. Many of y'all did that with social media, and look at where it got you. Some people use social media as a way to build their brand, as a way to build their businesses. They learn Meta ads, they learn Instagram, they learn TikTok and LinkedIn and YouTube. They learned all the things, they practiced on it. Some people just used it to look at cat videos. It just depends how you chose to use it. Same thing with AI. Some people use AI now to put together a flyer. That's great because you didn't have the capability of putting together a flyer before. Maybe you use it to give you a recipe. Maybe you use it like it's your friend or your therapist, so it helps you through some things. Sure. But in the context of earning money, if that's what this show is about, we're talking about how do we go about earning more money. If sometimes we can't go any lower, we can't budget anymore, we're not frivolous in our spending, there's no more holes to plug up in our financial boat, then the other solution is we got to go make more money. And if we've never learned how to do that, we have to go educate ourselves on how to do that. We have to practice how to make more money. It's not just, oh, you just go do this and money comes in, because otherwise everyone would be rich, right? If it were so easy, everybody would do it. 70% of Americans wouldn't live paycheck to paycheck if it were so easy, if it was the way everyone thought about it. So you got to go off and learn. My encouragement is that we just go and learn the things that will actually make us money in the next 5 years. I just did this last Friday. We talked about who would ever want to get into the real estate market or the real estate industry right now. Like, who's going to class to get a real estate license right now at this stage? Whoever they are, they haven't looked at any of the data. They haven't looked at any of the information. They haven't looked at any of this stuff, because that would just not be a smart business move to do. It's just not smart, knowing what we know about the market. Unless you've been in it for 10, 15, 20 years, you got to book a business, all those things. If you're just getting started, you think you're going to make money, wrong industry to walk into. We just talked about that last week. So same thing now when it comes to all your AI things. Put this back on the screen for the last time. If you know you're currently working in management, business and finance, computers or math, right? Lots of analytics, those types of things, office admin type things, architecture, engineering, life and social sciences, legal. You're a lawyer, you're a paralegal, you're in the law system. I got a story about that one too, right? If not the law system, what are we talking about? Arts and media. If you're currently in any of these and you're thinking that your job's going to get taken, it will. So now you should play offense. Now you should practice it and get good with it so that it's not taken, so that you create the solution to put yourself out of a job, but at the same time, make yourself good money. We got to learn these things. I was laughing when I said the legal thing. I had to do some legal paperwork recently, and I used a large language model to be able to do it. And I went in and I had all the paperwork filled out properly, had all my copies, all the stuff. And the lady looked at it and she was like flipping through, because again, I'm sure she's used to, right, just human error. People that are doing this stuff for themselves, they don't do it right normally. People aren't good at following instructions. But she went through it. She was like, this is like almost perfect. Like, did someone help you with this? And I was just like, no, I'm smart. But I wanted to be like, yeah, like I just asked my AI right to do it for me. I uploaded all the documents. I said, hey, tell me exactly what to fill out, how to fill it out, what to write on these papers. And it did it for me. So I didn't have to think. What do I need a lawyer for? I'm about to go through a process. I'll give you guys insight on it after it's done. But I'm going through a process that I'm about to do with no attorney. Some people recommend getting an attorney or a public defender or whatever the case is. Like, I'm going to go at it with like no attorney. Why? Because I have AI. I know some attorney out there is like, that's not smart, right? The judge this and the way they practice this. And some other attorney's like, yeah, go figure it out, right? It's also because one day you're not going to be needed. One day paying you $6,000 an hour for you and your team of people to study case law is probably not going to be what we're going to pay, because I can study case law. I can gather case law and just give it to you for you to study. I can find all the case law that you were going to find and put it into an easy document for when I'm ready to go before the judge. So I only need one attorney that knows some lingo, and the rest is going to be me. So I don't have to pay your team $5,000 an hour to find my stuff to get me the right. I have it. We could probably put the legal business, the legal industry on notice. AI is going to change everything. My encouragement to those of you that are listening, that are paying attention to this, you got to go take advantage of it. You got to go take advantage of it. Don't wait until AI comes and takes your job, or right, has all the layoffs or all the things that are going to start happening. Don't wait till that happens. Go use it. Go play with it. Go spend 2-3 hours a night on it. Go take a couple of weeks to learn it, and then let your dream machine start rolling. Give yourself some more ideas. Learn how to prompt it. Ask it the right questions. What do you see that needs to be done? What needs to be more efficient? Not just the basic things, but like, how do you create money? How do you make money? What's popular? What can you go do right now? You're going to have to change. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to learn. But what can you go do to make money? Use AI to help you with those things, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just play defense, play offense. These are great tools, and these tools are going to be able to help you get to wherever you want to go financially. They're going to help you get to wherever you want to go financially. So use AI. If there's anything I could tell you guys, use AI, please, and thank you, because it's going to help you. It's going to bless your life. It's going to be awesome. Things that we have that are exciting. We have our Financial Clarity Club that we just opened up. It's our community for people that want to get better financially. It's a community for people that want to get better financially. We need people to walk alongside of us. We are no longer in a place where you can just take the information and go do it. Think, how has that worked out for you? Think really back to your financial life. When you read the Dave Ramsey book and then you were left to your own devices afterwards, how did that work? When you read the budgeting book and then you worked on it for a little bit and then you were left to your own devices, how did that work out for you? When you were left to your own devices of getting out of debt or figuring out your investment strategy, how did that work out for you? It doesn't work out. When we just pick up financial information from our parents or our peers or the internet or trial and error, when that's the only way we pick it up, it's likely we'll never get to where we want to go. We might delude ourselves and think that we can do it, but we need help. Imagine you never went to a doctor your entire life. You only just picked up information about your health from your friends, your family, and your experiences and the internet. But you never actually got tests ran on you. You never actually went to a doctor. You never actually talked to a medical professional. How healthy do you think you would be over time? Probably not healthy long term, right? I'm sure you can get through. I'm sure there's enough information now on the internet, even though just like money, you don't know what to take in, what's right for you, what's not right for you. You don't know. But if you never went to see a doctor, a healthcare professional, you likely wouldn't last too long. Same thing in your money. We know that. You just might not know that, or you might not believe that. But if you've only picked up financial information from parents, peers, the internet, your experiences, or I love this one, the person that comes to your job to tell you about your retirement, right? Like the person that is hired from the company that also supplies you your 401k, 403b, 457, and they try to help you with more investment advice when you are just an employee and you actually are struggling with debt, but they're not going to talk to you about your debt. They're going to talk to you about whether you should be conservative, moderate, or aggressive in your mutual funds. And we call that financial advice. We don't have people when you don't have people to guide you, when you don't have people to give you knowledge, when you don't have people that are in community with you, walking alongside you, it's likely you won't get better. We watch this with health. We watch this with mental health. We're trying to do this with money. Join the Financial Clarity Club. We give you tons of resources, but more importantly, this is an open forum to talk about money. There's no dumb questions. We're all dealing with the same things. It's just you don't talk to a professional about it. So that's what we're giving you the opportunity to do. Feel free to scan this QR code, what you see on the screen. We're letting the first 50 people in free, right? So again, if you got that QR code, bit.ly/FCC first 50, that'll get you into the Financial Clarity Club with your first 90 days for free. So feel free to sign up. Feel free to join us over there. That's what we are doing to make sure we are doing our part to build community around your financial life. All right, y'all. It's always a pleasure to be here with you every Friday. Most Fridays, but every Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. We're diving into BizBuzz Live. Let's get our cash flow right so we can make sure that we are learning how to first earn money, then learning how to save it, then learning how to invest it so we can get our financial life to the place we want it to be. All right, y'all. It's a pleasure. Until next Friday.